Hello and what is up, everyone? My name is Licinity. You might know me as Sin, and welcome in to this week's episode of Ladies Night with Licinity. Got a lot of things that we're going to talk about to kind of just start the night off. Our last episode was, 2 weeks ago? Last episode, we had Savage Giggles, Celeste of Women of Halo. She's on the board there in Command Station. They all kind of came in and we talked about a lot of cool things. We talked about how Command Station, she's in the Air Force and she's one of the top women competitors inside of the Halo space. Savage Giggles, we talked about how long she's been in the Halo community, how long she's been competing. She's been around since the MLG days. And then Celeste is like a powerhouse of a businesswoman. So if you missed that episode, that would be episode 7. It is available for you on my YouTube channel. You can do command YouTube or YT and it will pop up. And yeah, you'll be able to watch it on there. First things first, though, I do need to say thank you to HCS for the drops. HCS came through and they gave the channel drops today for this episode. So we appreciate it. We appreciate all the support and the love that they give the women of Halo and women in the gaming space. It's incredible and it's really cool when you have someone like 343 or HCS who really believes in your vision and really like encourages you to keep doing it. So I just want to say shout out to like Divvy in there, thank you so much, and Uni, thank you so much for always coming through. Tashi, Snickerdoodle, everybody involved, thank you all so much for just kind of encouraging us to keep showcasing women in this space. I think it's really cool, and it's really cool to know that you all have our back. So thanks. And we're gonna get into some news now. So HCS news. We had a really big HCS news week, yeah. We had a really big HCS news week. We're just gonna like address the main one that happened. Spartan got dropped by Sentinels. I personally am a little upsetty spaghetti about this. I don't know about you all, but I'm a little upset about it. Spartan's one of my favorite players. So I became a Sentinels fan because of Spartan, basically. So regardless, I'm gonna buy a jersey wherever he goes, and I hope that he ends up on his feet. What do we think is gonna happen? That's what everyone's debating right now, right? Is like, who is gonna go to Sentinels, or what do we think is gonna happen? There's been a rumor going around the streets. The rumor on the streets has been that Precision of Complexity is actually going to make his way on over to Sentinels. So let's think about it. Okay, so if Precision goes there, that means there's an open spot in Complexity. Does that mean that Spartan they do a switcheroo and Spartan goes to Complexity? Does that mean that maybe maybe what about Native Gaming, right? Because then we have the whole Collect being dropped, which I don't know what is actually going on with that, but then we have the whole Collect thing happening too. So it's like, could Spartan go to Native? But other people are saying no, he can't go to Native because they think that there's already someone there. We have speculations of who might go to Native. Do we know anything for sure? No, we don't. But that is kind of what's going on right now with HCS, a little bit of a roster mania situation here. It's kind of crazy, right? It's right before London and stuff too. And like, when you think about it, when I look at Sentinels, and not even just from the pro player aspect, I look at Sentinels and I think of Spartan. And the reason why I think of Spartan is because I've seen him in Sentinels content. I haven't really seen other players in the content or kind of like show their face as much is what Spartan does. Boo Boo Doo streams, I haven't really seen Lethal stream at all. I haven't seen Falcated really online at all or anything like that. So I just think that like he kind of had more of a presence in the space. So that was kind of shocking, because not only was he like a great player, but he also kind of had this presence in the space. And I feel like right now with esports, we're kind of in this we're in this part of the business, we'll say, where orgs are looking for more than just a good player. They're looking for somebody who is also marketable and somebody who also is creating content and is like showing that they can like bring back a positive ROI to the org if they pick them up. So I just feel like he kind of checks off all the boxes there. So it was a big shock for me. So I personally don't know what's going to happen. Don't know where he's going to go, but I hope that he ends up on his feet here. Spartan's been rocking with me since I've been Queen Stank. So that's my homie. We cheer for him, and I really hope that he ends up on his feet. And I want him to know, if he ever sees this, all of us here are cheering for you, or rooting for you, and we can't wait to pick up jerseys wherever you end up. So Barks for Spartan, the dog, in the chat. And also thank you to everybody who's stopping by and following right now. Sarah, thank you for that gifted sub to LVT Halo. I really, really appreciate that. And thank you all of the follows that came through today. Also appreciate that. And what's up, everybody? And yes, Tyler is a GOAT. He is absolutely a GOAT. He is such an incredible player. So that was crazy. And also Collect is a good player too. So to see that, like, you know, there's this huge, it's like one domino falls and everything happens. It's like, you know, you pull one and it's like, now it's like do and everything's going around. And it's like, because of Spartan being dropped, you know, and because of Collect possibly being dropped, now it's like, how many more rosters are we going to see? I do think that now all of the teams that are playing, like the teams that are being the most consistent is going to be FaZe, Optic, and Space Station right now. They're the most, if you need to beat them in order to, you know, place top 3. So everyone is gunning to beat them. And it's a matter of who's going to get that like perfect roster first to kind of, you know, solidify themselves and make themselves get better placements. You know, they in Arlington, Sentinels did not have a good placement whatsoever. So we now what's going to happen? You know, now it's going to happen. How are they going to do? Who are they going to get? I don't know, but that's about all the roster mania that we have this week. Shout out to Tony and Why Not Be Reckless, the caster Tony Rose. He has a really, really cool YouTube channel, and he also has a YouTube video up that kind of talks about these moves with Clutch too. So that was fun to listen to, but that's there if you also want to listen to that. So shout out to Tony as well. In other news, I know that there is going to be actually, I have a really cool HCS news right here too. Another HCS news. Shout out to Frizilla being on the dot with this. We always love to give love to the Latin American community and the Mexican community on my channel too. Which also, we have another announcement after this. But a Mexican roster got picked up by the Colombian org SWAT. SWAT let them, and they'll be going to Orlando and London. So congratulations to them, and that's awesome. I can't wait to see how they place. And if that's anyone that I know, I've definitely got my butt kicked by them before in tournaments. So that's going to be crazy to see. But we love seeing other people get their chance and kind of get their flowers and be able to go. So shout out to that. That's really cool. And on the next episode of Ladies Night, which is going to be on May 1st, we are going to actually have some ladies from the Latin community come on up here and be on the show. I'm super freaking excited about it. Can't really say names yet because nothing's really set in stone, but it will be really, really cool, and it will be super, super exciting. So, and also shout out Orlando. Yes, Orlando, the LVT Orlando tournament. And I believe that's 2050. It's put on by 2050, and then LVT is producing the event. So their talent and everyone's going to be down there. You can get team passes for that too. Still, if anyone's interested, you can still get team passes for that event. I believe they are cheaper right now. I think there's about 6 more passes I read earlier. LVT's in the chat, so he can probably correct me, but I believe that I read that there was 6 team passes left for a specific discount, and then after that the prices go up. And you can, and also, to make sure that I read this correctly, you can go on the website and you can create a team without actually paying for your team pass yet. It's free to create a team, so figure that out. Get your team together, figure it out, solidify your plans, buy a team pass, go to Orlando. Right? It would be a blast. You know, let's all go to Disney World. It'll be a blast. So that is a bunch of fun things that are coming up too. A women's tournament will be on May 11th. I can't really give out any other details besides that. And then another fun one is there's going to be a really cool Star Wars themed tournament on May 4th. And here is the tweet right here. If anybody wants to look onto that, there is going to be a cute little flyer that's with it. But I should have gave it to Frizilla before I started this, so maybe he can pull it up there for me. But there is going to be a May the 4th Husky Raid tournament put on by Halo HQ. It's going to be really, really awesome. Star Wars themed maps. It's going to be casted by myself, Frizilla, who is producing tonight's show and produces all of the Lady Night shows. Legendary C4 is also going to be a caster, and so is Captain James. It's going to be absolutely incredible and a fun little tournament there. So there's the link for it in chat though. So if anyone's interested, you can go ahead and click that right there. That's going to be the Twitter post that kind of gives information about it. So that's basically all of our news for this week. And now we are going to kind of talk about this week's show and the guests on this show. So starting this out, as we all know, Halo is for everyone, and Halo is accepting to everyone. And the goal of Ladies Night is to give anyone who identifies as a woman the platform to speak and a platform to showcase who they are, what they're about, what they like to do, and everything else that we can know about them. So I have a really, really fun episode planned tonight, and I have some really cool guests planned tonight. So my first guest is going to be, her name is Lilith, and she is the founder of the Halo Pride community. And then my next guest is going to be Jolly. And if you guys watched the LVT 2v2 Women of Halo tournament this last Saturday, Jolly and I casted it together. She was chair 1, and I had the honor of being her chair 2. And actually, my first time on being on LVT with Jolly, it was really, really cool. So Jolly is here too, and she's a phenomenal caster, tons of titles underneath her belt. And then we have kind of like what I like to say, the hot shot of the Halo community right now. She's kind of like came out here and just kind of kicked ass in terms of competition, and her name is Zev. I also know her as Jade, and most of you will probably know her as Zev GP. You've probably got pooped on her in lobbies. She's probably pooped on you. She's probably pooped on you in lobbies before. She's absolutely incredible of a player, and she is going to be on the show tonight. So I'm going to pull up all 3 guests now, and we're all going to say hello to everyone and welcome everyone in. So these are going to be my 3 guests of the evening. So chat, say what's up to all the guests. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, everybody.
Your sock is showing. Okay, so Jolly, we're just gonna get this out of the way now. So Jolly has a sock on her mic, so that's why her mic looks a little blue on top. Everyone goes through it. It's fine.
I broke my pop. It's a makeshift pop filter, and you know what?
It works.
It works.
It absolutely works.
Make sure it's a clean sock if you ever do this yourself. Oh, I'm moving. Okay.
I love that. That's so funny. So Lilith, how are you today too?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm excited to have you here. We've been talking about having you on the show for a while, so I'm really excited that the schedule's worked out.
No, I'm super excited.
I'm super excited. Absolutely. And then Zev, how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm super excited that you're here too. I've been I seriously admire your playstyle in Halo so much. Ask Jolly, like when we were watching, even when we were like off screen and stuff like that, I was like, yo, Zev is killing it. Like I was like such about it. I swear. I enjoy you so much. I think that you are such a joy. So
I love your casting.
Thank you. I absolutely love that. So what we're gonna do now is we're saying hey to everybody. You know, everyone's here, and now I'm gonna go into a one-on-one interview, and I'm going to say goodbye to everybody. But I'm going to keep Lilith up here with me. So we're gonna see Jolly and Zev in a little bit. So goodbye, you two, and Lilith. This is gonna be us now. This is gonna be your time to shine.
Okay.
Sweet. So first things first, how long have you been playing Halo?
God, I've been playing Halo since it came out. I actually started on the Halo CE demo.
Oh, nice.
Back in whenever that came out.
Okay. Do you have a favorite Halo?
Probably nostalgia reasons. Probably Halo 3.
I like Halo 3 too. That's what Womp's playing, and I told you earlier. I hear him yelling in the living room. He's playing Halo 3 out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. I love Halo 3. My first ever matchmaking game was on Valhalla, so Valhalla will forever be my favorite matchmaking map. For just that reason alone.
I love that. What about? Do you have maybe a favorite Halo scene?
Favorite Halo scene? Ooh, probably from Halo 2. When he gives the bomb back to the Covenant, I watched
Giving
that
the Covenant
scene.
back the bomb.
I watch that scene monthly.
Yeah, honestly, I find myself watching a lot of Halo cutscenes. I like that people on YouTube kind of put all of them together. Mm-hmm. So I like to go on there and just kind of watch them. But I think Halo 3 has probably a lot of my favorite cutscenes. Halo 2 and Halo 3, I think. I love them both.
For sure. Mm-hmm.
So, you've competed in stuff with Halo, like off and on, right? Have you competed in any other titles, like or any other Halo titles besides Halo Infinite?
No, actually, not really. Halo Infinite's kind of the first thing I've set my door into that wise. I wouldn't really say I'm more of a competitive gamer. Very, very social. Like you give me Griffball and I'll be happy. Like,
What is your favorite Halo game mode?
probably Griffball.
Griffball? Okay.
Yeah.
Did you do that? There was that Griffball tournament that popped up with wasn't that Space Station did stuff with it?
Oh yeah, no, I didn't get a chance to go on that, but I would have loved to. But no, I definitely would do it again if it came up.
Are you gonna or are you looking into doing any more tournaments in the future?
Oh, for sure. I love competing. Even though I wouldn't say I'd get very far.
I don't get far. It's fine.
Competing. Yeah,
It's fun.
I'm a professional first rounder. So I'd like to live that way.
I actually love that. I'm a professional first rounder too, to be honest. The only time I've made it past first round was because we had a bye once. It still counts though. Like I made it to the second round in the bracket. My name was there, so I feel that. Do you have any tournaments that you've been in that kind of like stand out to you more than the other ones?
I'd say probably the first tourney I did. I did with the Wildcats. With who was that team? I did with Ayokas, Exotoxic, and Rogue Foss. Well, not Rogue Foss. I did it with. I'm forgetting names off the top of my head.
But I know what you're talking about. Wasn't it
Yeah.
wasn't it Winter with you?
Yeah, it was Winter. God.
On Winter, Hope Winter. Yeah, Hope Winter
Yeah.
did shout out to Hope Winter too. She's a shooter. She's really good.
She's amazing.
Yeah, she is really good. I remember that actually. That wasn't that the Lady Spartan series?
Yeah. Maybe.
It was with LVT, wasn't it?
Yeah, I know it was with LVC. Yeah.
I think it was the Lady Spartan series with LVT because I think that that's the tournament that I have PTSD about because I goosed my very first tournament live on
Oh,
LVT on the broadcast against Airborne Vanessa.
Yeah, I definitely remember goosing that tourney as well. So you're not alone.
Only the best goose. Someone has to
True.
do it. You know what I'm saying? And we're just better. It's fine. It's honestly fine. All the best people goose. That's what I say.
Yeah,
That's
so
definitely
real.
what I say. And shout out to LVT Halo in the chat too. We also have Jolly's chilling in the chat. Madusa, who just rebranded. Hello. Ashley's in the chat too. What is up to everybody? I want everybody to know too that Lilith does have her own command tonight. So you can type, I'm typing it in here. You can type in their name inside of chat and it'll pop up. All of their socials are going to be on there, so you can follow wherever you please, whatever your social, pick your poison, I guess, right? Whatever your favorite social is, but that is there. So speaking of socials, Lilith, do you have a social that you prefer? Or like one
Probably
that you're more
Twitter.
active?
Yeah, probably
yeah.
Twitter. No.
I'm
Not really
pretty-
active
yeah.
on like Instagram or anything. I literally made one for stream and I've used it like twice. So
Honestly, I don't really use Instagram that much either. I feel like it's just too much socials to keep up with. Way too much.
yeah,
Way too much.
way too much.
So aside from Halo, is there any other like video games that you play or any other video games that you have just any other games that you play, I guess. Let's start there.
Yeah. So I play like Halo once a week, mainly for Halo Pride Night. So I play a lot of other games. I play a lot of right now. I just got Planet Zoo because it was on discount, and I've been living inside of that game. It's so great.
So Halo Pride Night, let's talk about it. When did what gave you the idea to start Halo Pride Night?
So honestly, the Women of Halo really inspired me to kind of give also a space to like queer Halo creators and
Okay.
queer Halo gamers in general. So last June, actually, I thought it'd be a great idea to get a whole bunch of people together and have a night where we all play customs and also raise money. Last year we raised money for GLAD and we raised a pretty good amount of money. So definitely this upcoming June, really excited for.
So how are you only do you guys do what day of the week is Halo Pride Night?
So we do Halo Pride Nights every Friday
Okay.
at 8 p.m. EST. And we basically have in our little Discord, we have where you can pick either BTB, customs, or eights. And based off what the community decides, we'll post it that night.
And then
It's a
is
really
there
fun
like
time.
oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying it's a really fun time.
Is there like a way, if anyone's listening right now that like they want to get involved with Halo Pride Community Game Night, like is there a way that they can either do they contact you, or is there like a Twitter or
Yeah. So our Twitter is Halo Pride Community. If you look us up on Twitter, and I can actually link it to you in Discord if you want.
I honestly, I found it right here. That is
okay, cool.
totally my fault. I should have made this a command. So I'm gonna put this in chat, and then John, can you make this a command for me, please? Like a stand-in command too, so that's always there. So if anyone's listening, this is the Halo Pride Community Twitter, right? And then aside from the Twitter, Kara, I'm so sorry because I just cut you off. That was like very rude of me. But how else can they get in contact with you?
Oh, if they just message either me or Lady Mando, or contact us through the Twitter, we'll be able to get them in.
Okay. And then so am I allowed to ask like how many community members do you think that you have right now with there like is it a growing community?
Oh yeah, it's definitely growing by the day. I
love
forget
that.
off the top of my head. I think there's around a number of members. I completely forgot. But no, it's
That's
definitely
awesome,
growing by
though.
the day and growing by the week.
Okay. And do you is this like so Halo Pride Community 2, is this like, would you say like a space, just like an overall like safe space for anybody who like identifies or what would I say, like I'll just say like identifies with that community? Like, is that like a safe space, like somewhere that they can go, they can meet new people, meet new friends, and like just kind of, talk about maybe necessarily things that straight people won't understand? Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. It's basically a safe space for either queer Halo players or even allies. Allies are completely welcome as well.
Love that.
The more the better, the more the merrier. But yeah, it's just a safe space for all to just vibe and play some customs or whatever we want.
Do you guys only play Halo Infinite, or do you also do like Halo MCC and stuff too?
We've mainly played Halo Infinite, but
Okay.
we'd be definitely open to MCC because Lady Mando has a big pass in MCC customs. So
Yeah. Which shout out to Lady Mando too. We did try to get Lady Mando on tonight, but everybody only has the same 24 hours in a day, so it's very hard to sometimes try to get everybody on. So we're gonna try to get her on another episode too, in the future, as well, because she does Halo Pride Night with you. Like, you guys are both the founders, right?
yeah.
Awesome. That's really cool though. I really have to give you like props for like going out there and doing that, because I don't really, I think there's some pride communities that are in the gaming space, but I don't think that there's as many as what there should be. I think that, and still I think that like, as much as we want to say that like coming out, everyone like respects it and stuff like that, like there's still some people who don't. So there still is probably people who are hiding, and are like nervous and stuff like that. So like it's really cool that like you offer the space where people can just like genuinely be themselves. That's what I think is like really, really, really important. I think that needs to be really utilized more and stuff too. So again, if anyone is watching, and you need, you want to go meet some new friends, you're an ally, you're a member of this community, here you go join Halo Pride Community. They have game nights. You said it's every Friday, right?
Every Friday at 8 p.m. EST. We play whatever the community votes on. Last week I think it was BTB. This week it could be eights or customs. Who knows?
Is it, and it's all skill levels and stuff like that?
Oh yeah, we have anywhere from Onyx to like silver or bronze. So we have all skill levels.
That's awesome. So any skill level, go hang out, play some Halo, meet some awesome people. Another thing I was going to talk to you, I see you have like a little aquarium behind you. Let's talk about it. What's in there?
So it's my little crested gecko Eevee. He's a
Eevee.
cute little guy. He's a little crested gecko. Absolute love of my life. He's so cute.
What made you want to get Crested Gecko?
So I started working at a pet store,
Okay.
and I got kind of rushed into being like the head person over all the reptiles and fish. So I quickly got into fish, and then hyperfixated on it for a second, and then started hyperfixating into reptiles, and here we go.
Is this the first reptile that you've ever owned?
Yeah,
Nice.
first ever one.
Does he make any noises? Like, I need to know details.
He doesn't really make that many noises. However, one of my little like cleaner bugs got loose on the top of the enclosure yesterday, and I heard some like breaking at the glass on the wall, and he found it and was trying to eat it through like the mesh.
Oh
So
wow.
he's a
Smart.
little silly. He's a little silly.
Silly and smart. I love that. And then
Mhm.
another thing that I also want to talk to everybody about is you're very passionate about music. So let's talk about like your music background. Tell me about it.
Yeah, so I've been playing music, since like junior high. Like, been doing constant band stuff like that. And then, for college, I went to college for being a music major, and bounced around a couple colleges, but it was a really good time. I ended up, while my music majoring days, we had to do like projects for like, kind of designing pieces. So I
Mhm.
would like take Halo 3 ODST pieces and make them basically compatible for percussion stuff or like brass stuff. It was really, really fun. Halo 3 ODST is probably my favorite soundtrack.
I
Of all
think
the
that's
Halo
my
games.
favorite too. I
Yeah, it's
really,
really good.
really like that too. I like and I also really like the song Winter Contingency.
Ooh,
I
yeah.
forget what one that's from, but it's like a 12-minute song.
Yeah,
but
Halo
it's,
Reach, I think. Yeah.
Nice. I like Halo. Do you like Halo Reach?
Oh yeah, Halo Reach will forever make me cry every time I play it.
Okay, that was my follow-up question was did you cry? Because I cried at
Yeah.
Halo Reach. I
Yeah.
definitely cried at Halo Reach. Are you like a big fan then of like Marty O'Donnell, like his music and stuff like that?
Yeah,
We'll just say music and leave it at that.
it was music.
Yeah, music wise. What about is there any other games that have music that stick out to you, or a video game score or anything that is kind of like iconic or that you see as iconic?
Definitely, obviously Halo for sure. But honestly, Zelda has been really nice as well. Zelda has a really nice soundtrack.
I like Zelda lo-fi music. I listen to a
Ooh,
lot
yeah.
of Zelda lo-fi, but I haven't started playing Zelda yet. But I think that might be my next Switch game.
Ooh, another game I think you'd really like, Metal Hellsinger.
I'm about to write it down.
Amazing music. It's basically a rhythm game, and you like journey through hell. It's
Oh, I
like
love that.
all metal
Yes.
music.
Yes, I would love that. Actually, you know
it's
me.
all metal. It's so good.
That's so funny. I absolutely love that. Well, again, I want to like say thank you. You know, you've been a really like you've helped me learn a lot about things that I wasn't really too educated on, and you've helped me like you've challenged me to think harder and more compassionately and stuff like that. And I really wanted to, you know, it was really important for me to have you on here just because I wanted to, one, thank you, not only privately, but also publicly, for being someone who you're always someone that when I see when people like face you with hate, you're always someone that tries to educate instead of be mean, and instead of kind of like be rude or anything like that. Like, you always handle things with such grace, and I think that is so admirable and so strong of you to do. So I just wanted to make sure that I at least like give you your flowers and say thank you so much, and thank you for always being someone that I can go to for advice and stuff. You know, like I've talked to you for a while now about like getting you on the show and like what would be the proper way to approach certain things and stuff like that. And you've never once judged me from asking you questions. Instead, you've given me information that's challenged me to think harder and challenged me to you know, to just work harder, I guess, and make sure that everybody is seen the same. So I just want to make sure that I say at least thank you, and I want to say thank you, and I really appreciate you, and I want to thank you for coming on in your time, and I really appreciate it. So, and I wanted to say that before I'm gonna hop over, and we're gonna get Zev. We're gonna bring Zev on next too. So I just want to say thank you, Lilith, and I really do appreciate you.
It really means a lot. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. It really means a lot.
Yeah, you're awesome. You're absolutely incredible. So I'm gonna we're gonna say bye to Lilith now, and we are going to bring on Zev now. So you all have probably heard about Zev. We have a hydrate in chat. You know what? I will drink some water. So hello, Zev. How are you?
I'm doing so well. Thank you for asking.
So, first things first. Would you like me to call you Zev or would you like me to call you Jade?
Either is fine. Truly.
Either is fine. Okay, let me take a swig of water really quick. All right, so I'm gonna say Zev for the sake of I'm worried that if I say Jade now, I didn't realize that I didn't put Jade up there. I said Zev, so I don't want people to get confused.
It's okay.
You are a shooter. You are a Halo competitor through and through. How long have you been competing for?
I've been competing since the start of Halo Infinite, just with Halo. When COVID first happened, I was a freshman in university, and I was kind of looking into esports. There wasn't a ton of options, but there was Overwatch. There was an Overwatch club, so that's where I first started, was Overwatch on PC.
That's awesome. And thank you so much, Hi Guy, for the 5 gifted, and thank you, Sarvana. You guys did just throw us into a hype train, so thank you so much. I don't have sound alerts on when we do Ladies Night just because I don't want it to interrupt the broadcast, but I see it. So I want to say thank you so incredibly much. Also, we do have some Zev fans in the chat. Sarvana saying Zev is cracked. We know. Zev is cracked. Fulcrum, Zev hype. Absolutely. So we do got some Zev fans in the chat. What has been your favorite game that you've competed in?
Definitely Infinite. Just the sandbox is so vast. It's so like every map is different. Every map is played different depending on like who's on the map and the play styles that they like to run with. Everything's different, but there's also a lot of like common themes, which I like about the maps.
Yeah.
Shout out to my teammate Duo, Ceaseless Ranger. He's a veteran in the scene. We were sitting down post Arlington and talking about Halo and the nature of the maps, and Infinite's maps are just so much more circular based, like the design of the map,
Yep.
whereas Pit is very linear. So like for me, it took a little bit longer to understand Pit and how it played versus like Livefire. Livefire made sense. You like make sure you have control on the map, on make sure that you're still rotating. But in Pit, it's very you have a hit or miss option, and if you miss, then that's that flag out.
So, what's your favorite Halo map? Your favorite, we'll say favorite Halo Infinite map.
Oh, Infinite map, I would have to say either Aquarius or Livefire. They're both tied. I really enjoy them both.
Honestly, that's so valid. Those are probably my favorite too. I'm a big Livefire fan.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel so comfy on that map. That's for sure. So, what about like Halo Infinite? What's your favorite weapon or what's your go-to weapon to grab when you're playing?
If I had to pick a weapon, I guess I would pick the sidekick or the heatwave.
Okay.
But I also am huge on like utility. So like any nade I'm gonna pick up, any repulse, any equipment, I'm gonna pick up on the map. The red rack change has been a little bit different in adjusting my playstyle, just due to having that utility playing the 1v1s to those advantages. But it's coming along. It's coming along.
What about what do you think your play style is? Like, do you think you're more of like an aggressive player or more of like a support player, objective? Like, what type of player do you see yourself as?
I would have I used to play the primary entry role on when I first started competing, and I found some success but not a ton, just because I wasn't alive long enough on the map. I didn't know how to play my life when I first started, so I kind of settled into the support role slash OBJ. I'm always pretty OBJ efficient. I've given up many overkills just to get the flag in, so yeah.
I think, would you say that you're an aggressive player?
Yeah, I mean, I don't like to let the damage that goes out on the map go uncapitalized. I think keeping the pressure on when you have the advantage is the most important thing. So,
what about as far as like esports wise, do you have like a favorite team that you like or that you cheer for or anything like that?
yeah, I do. I'm a big Sentinels fan. I first loved them in Valorant. They won VCT. They were the first team to do it. And then I figured out that they had a Halo team when Infinite released with that Frosty roster, which was so cool.
Yep.
Oh, I love that roster. So definitely Sentinel. Definitely.
I love that. Sarah, shout out Sarah in chat. She said she's real talking about Sentinels. We're major Sentinels fans here. You know, that's why I think that was why. How did you feel when you heard about the roster breaking up?
I was shocked. I was truly shocked. I mean, I knew that there was going to be a change, and I had a gut feeling that it could have been Sparty, but I was kind of surprised at the route that they went due to the nature of like the health concerns that Tyler had with himself. So I'm glad that he figured those things out and, you know, is on the solution, but it's unfortunate that caused him to get dropped in a sense.
Yeah.
But I'm very confident in Tyler's ability. He actually was the first coach that I had. I won a giveaway, and he taught me kind of the ins and outs of like routes and how to play your life around your teammates, which was super, super cool. So it's super cool to see Sentinels get some love, but not from the point of view that it's through a roster change. So
yeah. My boyfriend Womp, he's done VOD reviews and stuff with Spartan, and he says that Spartan is like a really good coach. And he's like, Spartan really like breaks things down and really like he said he felt like he got his money's worth. That's what he said. He was like, if you're gonna book, he's like, if you're gonna book with someone, he's like, that was really, really smart, and said that Spartan was a really good like coach and stuff like that too. I definitely now that like thinking about your gameplay and thinking about Spartan's gameplay, I definitely can kind of see some similarities there now. And I think that's kind of funny. And I never really thought about that until now, because I've never really thought about who plays like who, I guess. But now, that definitely makes sense right there. I love that though. So, did you go to any events this last year?
Yeah, I've tried to go to every event, whether it was with a last minute team or with a pretty solidified squad. I was able to go to Arlington with my duo, Ceaseless Ranger, and Cosmic, who I'm very good friends with, and Evil Carmine, and that's Javier.
Oh, nice.
It was super, super cool event. I had my top LAN placing there at T32, which was super cool. Very
congratulations. That's great.
Yeah.
And shout out to Cosmic too. We love Ka here.
Womp
teamed with Ka in a tournament before too. Ka's great.
Yeah, she's wonderful.
Big fan. Also another little demon on the sticks too, I swear. I swear. So, do you have any plans to go to any more events this year?
I was originally going to try to go to every event, but there have been some life situations that have come up which have changed that a little bit. I won't be able to go to London just due to how last minute the dates were released and
last minute and far as heck. I feel it.
Yeah, I just, especially with university, I figure I'll just close out classes, make sure I have good grades, and then if the opportunity arises and I can go to Orlando, then I'm going to. But definitely just focusing on getting ready to go for Atlanta, which is super fun.
What are you going to school for, if we're allowed to know?
Yeah, I'm going to school for marketing, a business administration position.
Oh, nice. That's exciting.
Yeah.
So how long have you been going to school for?
I started in COVID year, so 2020. I'll graduate in the spring of 25. COVID kind of shuffled my classes around. I changed my major like 4 times, so we're finally settled in.
No, that I feel you. That makes sense though too. School can be very, very stressful. So congratulations and like good job for you to like go and keep going.
Thank you.
And then I want to circle back to Halo again really quick. On your questionnaire, you talked about your first year win. Can you kind of elaborate on that and talk to everybody about that?
Yeah. So when I first started competing in Halo, I was gonna be like, I'm gonna play on mouse and key. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do it. And I did. I made it through tryouts for a team called Up5 Gaming. That org no longer exists. Picture Pappy is one of the org owners that I'm still in contact with. Wonderful person, love him to death, super supportive. Runs his own videography business now, which is super cool. Yeah, but it was like a premier tournament through a combination with the org and a esports club org was the organization name. It was casted. It was super cool. I actually got an overkill on stream on Aquarius. Which it was a lot of fun. I had just swapped to controller I think a week and a half prior, So I I had attempted to play, and I was doing just fine on mouse and key, but we had a coach at the time and was like, "You're not gonna get anywhere on mouse and key." I was like, "Okay, I'll swap." So I downgraded all my equipment, and then I used those funds to get a Elite Series 2, which I
Nice.
have just swapped off from pre-Arlington. So
Ooh, what are you on now?
I'm using the Victrix Pro
The Gambit?
BFG. Yeah, the new one.
Okay.
I'm using
Okay.
this one. Oh,
How do you feel about it?
I love it. A lot of people say that it's too fast for response time, but I being only 22, it feels very responsive to me, which is nice. I like the paddle placement, especially
Yeah.
because it's similar to the Elite Series 2, so it's really fun.
I Elite too. I like my Elite. I liked the weight of my Elite.
Yeah.
Sometimes I've had other controllers and they felt a little lighter. I know that if people don't play video games, they might think that that sounds weird, but I swear to you, something as little as just the weight of your controller can throw you off. Like,
Yes, exactly.
that's why when you see events, you see some of the pros. Shout out Formal. I'm going to use Formal as an example, and I'll actually use Boo 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 or Boo Boo Doo Boo for another example. But Formal, whenever he plays, he doesn't play in like a chair. He plays in like a dinner chair, like one of those old wooden dinner chairs, like just like a dinner table chair. I don't know. That's what
Yeah.
he plays with, and that's like his thing, right? Boo Boo Doo Boo. He plays without socks on.
Oh
or I mean,
my,
without
dogs
shoes on.
out.
Sorry, without
Oh,
shoes on.
no.
I didn't mean to say he had his dogs out. Sorry, Boo Boo. I didn't mean to say you had your dogs out all the way.
He's a dogs out player. It's okay. There's other people in the passion pit who do too.
I didn't mean to say he had his dogs out. No, I'm like, so he plays with his feet out.
Yeah. That's really funny.
Everybody has their thing, you know what I mean? So that's like
Yeah.
mine was like the weight and the feel of my controller. But I've heard nothing but good things about that, the Victrix though. But my next question with that is so do you like controller more over MNK?
I'm torn because I love MNK. I play every other game on MNK. I have a glass mouse pad. I've got a really nice mouse that I was able to buy off my brother because he got a new
That's
one.
cool. That's
Yeah.
you're fancy.
I was competing in Valorant under the university for a little bit, so I was
Okay.
all in. But then the university didn't want to support esports in the same facet, so I was like, I'm just gonna go forward with Halo, and I got a new Halo controller. So I would say, all in all, I would probably pick mouse and key because I feel like the skill ceiling is just a little bit higher due to the nature of how precise you can be with the mouse.
Yeah.
But that's not to say that I don't love a good controller.
Okay. Fair. I've never done mouse and key. I definitely want to try it, but I haven't tried
It's a
yet.
ton of fun. It's really fun.
Also shout out to Sarah too for the gifted sub to Jolly.
Woo!
Jolly too. Awesome. That's great. And then we're gonna keep talking about you competing for a second. So
For sure.
you just did the Queen's Alliance, the draft tournament, right? And you got weren't you in like top 5 in that?
Yeah, I was second in that one.
That's what I was gonna say. You got second in that one.
Yeah.
And then you got for the 2v2 you ran with Miss Heartbreak, right?
Yep.
You got third for that.
Yeah.
So you're kind of just on this like steady roll right now. So are you thinking about signing up for any more of those of the Queen's Alliance? Like, do you like draft tournaments? Because you've been pretty kick-ass at all the draft tournaments. I'm not gonna lie.
I love draft tournaments because I think it really puts like players' ability to adapt at the forefront of everything.
Yes, that's why I like them so much too.
Yeah, I think we should do more draft tournaments. I think it's a lot of fun. I think forming teams is still a good way to do it. But I like the variation. I think draft tourneys play better just due to the nature of who you can get on your team. I recently did the Clutch Academy draft tourney, which was a ton of fun. I was a substitute for. Some internal things happened and we got DQ'd from the tourney, which is unfortunate. We had placed third at that point, so we were ready to keep going, but some things happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, anytime there's a Hydra Gaming or Queen's Alliance or Women of Halo tourney, I'm always there. I'm super excited to just always compete in those.
I love seeing you out there and competing too in those. So I'm gonna give you I want two different answers from you. You get to create like an HCS Pro roster. your dream team roster out of all of the players, who are your 4 players that you're picking for that team?
Oh, that's difficult. Okay. I would say Frosty.
Do you want to build a
Lucid.
snowman? Shout out Lucid.
Yeah. Frosty, Lucid. I would say. Royal 2,
Okay.
and then Trippy, I think.
Ooh.
I think.
Nice.
Yeah.
What about out of all of the HCS pro players that are out there right now, do you have a specific player that you look up to or that you admire their play style?
I've got a couple different players. I really like how Spartan approaches the game. He's always putting time in. He's always very open with like how he handles himself as like a brand, as a player, which I think is really important. And I know he gets a lot of hate for that, which I don't really understand, but you know, people will do what they do. But I would also say probably Lucid, in that he's been very patient with his kind of upbringing, really blowing up in H5 and then going into Infinite from there. And then having Pistola on the roster, kind of having a veteran at the beginning of season 1 was a huge thing that I looked up to, just on
Okay.
how Pistola approached the game, both being OBJ efficient and being in the right time at the right place.
Also, shout out to Pistola. We're always thinking about Pistola, and we always hope and wish nothing but the best for Pistola. And all I'm saying is, Pistola, if you ever see this, which I know that you probably won't, but if you ever do, there's a lot of roster mania going on right now, and we would love to see you come back.
Very true. Very true.
Come back. We miss you,
Please.
Ola. So, my other question is, so we're gonna do the same thing again, but we're gonna do with Women of Halo. You get to pick your dream team. Who is your
Oh.
4? No, you said.
Oh no. Okay.
Listen, I'll tell if it makes you feel any better. I'll do it too, so you don't feel like you're on the spot.
Okay. Okay, we could do that.
Okay. I'll look. So if I had to pick my dream team, I would pick people who would protect me, because I obviously can't shoot that well. So I need people who can protect me well. I would pick you. I would pick Kiddo, and then I would be obviously the 3rd, and then I would probably pick like Airborne Vanessa, just because I've been sniped so many times by Airborne Vanessa that I know she doesn't miss. So what about you? What
Yeah.
would be your dream team?
I would probably pick myself, Command Station, because she's just got so much veteran knowledge. Queen ×3,
Mm-hmm.
and then to round it out. Oh, good lord! I have to pick. Probably generic. Probably
Ooh,
generic.
love that. Shout out Mama Jen. Shout out Mama Jen. We love that. That's honestly, that's fire answers. Pure Delight
Yeah.
said he's available for the dream team. I'm sorry, Pure Delight, you got benched. No, I'm just kidding.
Shout out PD. Love that
Yeah,
guy.
shout out PD. We love PD. Also, if nobody knows too, while we're here, we'll do this out. Everyone that's listening right now, there's a lot of you that's here. Pure Delight owns an org called Passion United, and they have a team, and basically what he does is he throws tournaments, and when he throws tournaments, part of the funding goes directly to getting his team to land events. So he is throwing a tournament that's coming up. It is a draft tournament. It's going to be on Sunday, May 19th at 2 p.m. Eastern time. PD's casting it. They are waiting on word for the other caster. Zilla is going to be the producer. It's going to be $10 entry per person, and half of that funding goes directly to getting their team to land. So if you are someone who wants to kind of put, some more love back into the community, that's a great place to invest your money, because it's going directly back in there. Or if you want to also be a baller, hit me up and donate to Women of Halo. Give us your money for a prize pool. I would love that. And we would
For
love to
real?
take it from you, respectfully, of course, but we would love to take it from you. So if anyone's ever interested in donating to the next Women of Halo tournament or a Hydra Gaming tournament or anything like that, my DMs are open for you, and let's work that out. My last topic with you, Zev, is movies. You're a
Oh.
movie. You like movies. What's your favorite movie?
Oh, favorite movie of all time is gotta be the first Avengers.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. The Avengers. Okay, I totally wasn't. I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't expecting the Avengers. I definitely wasn't. I was expecting
Yeah.
something else, but that's fine. We can do the Avengers. What about do you have like a favorite? I'm just gonna ask. Do you like Lord of the Rings?
Okay. So
oh no.
I really want to watch The Lord of the Rings. My partner and I have just started watching all of them in chronological order.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I've never seen them, so we're gonna watch the extended editions. We've
Yes.
started The Hobbit, we finished it, and then we're a little bit Lord of the Rings out, so we're taking
I
a
feel
break
you.
right now.
They're really long. Honestly, it took me like a full 2 years to kind of get used to watching Lord of the Rings and kind
Yeah.
of get on to Lord of the Rings. So,
Yeah.
well, I'm gonna send you back for a little bit, and then I'm gonna go to just my little camera screen for a second. But I want to say thank you for coming on too, and I will see you in one moment. So, Chad, everybody say
Sounds
bye
good.
to Zev. Also, if anybody wants. I muted myself because my hotkey is the letter Z, and Zev's name starts with a Z. So
Sorry
we're
about
gonna it's totally fine. We're gonna say goodbye to Zev for a moment and just I'm just gonna talk to you all for a second. So we're just gonna kind of go over what else we've all talked about. We have some more new people in here. So again, we just want to say thank you and shout out to HCS for the drops. If you watch for an hour and 30 minutes tonight, you can get the Cosmic Nexus coding. So shout out to HCS. I appreciate you all so much. I seriously thank you so much for putting us on the calendar again. Another thing too, we're going to talk about it again. We brought it up last week, but I'm going to bring it up again this week. Ladies Night is now the first and only community-driven stand-in podcast series to be featured on the HCS community calendar, not once, not twice, but 3 times. So the only one that's been featured multiple times on the calendar, and that would not be possible without all of you. So thank you all so much for your support and for always tuning in and showing interest in this, in my passion project. I couldn't be more thankful. Thank you so incredibly much. So shout out to HCS for that. So yeah, isn't that crazy though? Like 3 times. They put us on there 3 times. 3 times. So that's absolutely unreal, but I couldn't be more thankful, and we're going to keep chipping away at it and see, where else we end up for the end of the year. So that's absolutely incredible. While we're here on this screen, I know that we have some people that are, oh, nope, never mind. It's not going to let me do it. So that's fine. We are going to talk about 2 things really quickly. So my podcast series show is sponsored directly by AverMedia. So shout out to AverMedia. AverMedia gave me a really cool capture card. They gave me a really cool mic. They gave me a really cool boom arm. They gave me a really cool 4K camera. They are someone who's invested in me not only as a creator, but also as a person. So the show is directly sponsored by AverMedia. So I want to give a quick shout out to AverMedia. Thank them so much for making this possible. Another big, huge thank you is going to go to Glitch Energy. Thank you, Glitch, for everything that you do, and thank you for picking me up and kind of giving me more motivation. You can get some Glitch too, code SINNER at checkout, SINR. So those are 2 of our main sponsors for the day. We do have some more that we'll talk about later. I'm gonna grab a quick drink really quick, and while I'm grabbing this drink, we are going to switch on over and we're gonna bring our 3rd guest up for the evening, and this is gonna be Miss Jolly Cass. So I'm going to mute myself while I take a drink really fast.
Drink time. Mine's not water, so
It's okay. I needed it. I was like, I'm thirsty. I'm thirsty. So how are you today, Jolly?
I'm great. I'm super excited about this. I'm stoked to be here. I am so hyped that we got to cast on Saturday. It was a blast.
Me
You're a
too.
freaking natural. Like, you absolutely killed it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and just the ladies scene, when it comes to Halo in particular, is absolutely incredible and really close to my heart because I do a lot of games. And this one has so much more support than I've ever experienced in anything else.
While we're on that topic of a lot of games, can you just kind of go over with chat about all of the game titles that you work with and like what your titles are with each game and what you do with each game so they know? And thank you so much, Sarah, for the gifted sub to Zev. You rule.
Yay! No, okay. Well, now Lilith needs one, right? As well as
Yeah.
so Karen Yes needs one too. Yeah. So I have I have primary games, right? Just the ones that I cast most of the time because people are more familiar with me. Of me with them. So League of Legends, Halo, and Rocket League are the main three. For League of Legends, I got the chance to cast at Riot Studios over the summertime. I did Game Changers, which was amazing because it was obviously supporting, marginalized genders. And then
Shout out to Game Changers too. I see a lot of stuff about them on Twitter and all that.
I mean, I wish they would put more into the League of Legends side of things. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. I feel like, I'm just kind of disappointed because the Valorant Game Changers, it feels like they put a lot more effort into like the promotion of it. Not only that, but also just keeping people from being like assholes, right? Like there's not really any
moderation.
Exactly. When it comes to that. So I wish there was more. But Rocket League, I did CRL Worlds 2 years ago. I did CRL for a year. I mean, I've done everything from like I casted NBA 2K. I've interviewed Emmanuel Quickly from the Cowboys and did Madden. I casted Soulja Boy and XQC doing Among Us.
Oh wow!
And that was a game that I'd played. I'd played it like twice. They reached out to me, and I was like, yeah, sure. So I played it a couple more times, and they brought me back for another event after the fact. So
I love that.
I did well enough, but I mean, like I said, those are the three main games. I will cast absolutely anything. I mean, throw like a Cheesecake Factory menu in front of me, and I will do my best to make it as entertaining as possible. So I love the fact that I'm involved in so many of these women's scenes in particular. Obviously, I'm a girl, so they're like, "Hey, you fit.
Yeah,
what we
you
require." Exactly. And I adore it. But Halo in particular, like I said, just has so much more support than anything I've ever done, and I have done a lot of different games, particularly for women's events.
What about what was your first Halo event that you casted?
That actually, you know what? I think it was probably a Hydra. Probably the first Queen's Gauntlet.
Nice.
I think it was the first Queen's Gauntlet.
Okay.
And that was so incredibly fun. Not only that, but I was instantly welcomed with open arms.
Shout out to Hydra for real.
Yes. Oh my God.
Shout out to Hydra. Hydra is that's how I got my start with casting. A random phone call one day under an unfortunate circumstance and asked me to come on, and they've done nothing but have my back like consistently and stuff, and like really encouraged me to chase it. So like shout out to Hydra Gaming for real.
Absolutely. They are incredible. That and anyone who supports them, they support, right? Anyone, as long as you're a reasonable person, as long as you're not a bigot, right? And you're someone who's supporting the scene if you're tuning in. So yeah, I love Hydra, love Dragonic. We can see him in the chat as well.
Yeah.
It was probably that one, and then I quickly got pulled into a couple things. I did there was the like LVT Women in Halo grassroots partnership thing that I did, the Grace Face tournament as well that I did. I've had some really cool opportunities to do, whether it's 4s, whether it's 2s, all kinds of Halo, and I couldn't be happier with it. But probably the coolest event that I did was I actually have the hat. I've got my Red Cross hat. I did the Rescue Royale.
Oh, that's so cool.
So it was a free for all for top 8 players of the tournament. We went to Las Vegas. It was at the Luxor. That was a really cool one because it was the whole thing. We raised like $150,000 for
sick.
The Red Cross. All the profits go to the Red Cross, and I don't know if they've done more Halo since then. So I'm glad that I got to be part of that.
That's actually really, really cool. I hope they do more of that. That would be awesome to go see and like experience, I love seeing when people pull video games into like charity stuff. I recently got to do shout out to HCS Pro Talk. They did it was a free for all, first to 1,000 It was called the Tour de Walshy. It was on midship, and it was for Gamers for Giving, Gamers Outreach, and basically what they do is they get like carts, like I don't know how to explain it. Like, when you go to the hospital, they have someone who comes in with like an intake cart, and they're like, let me get your insurance and all of that. It's like that, but it's video game stuff, right? So it's like an Xbox on the cart or like a PlayStation on the cart. So it's so kids can play video games while they're at the hospital. And I thought that was so freaking cool. Like, and I got to like do a part of that and like be a part of that, and I thought that was awesome. And then I found out they host a LAN event too, where they do it like on LAN, and I was like, how do I, like, I will do anything to get involved with that. Like, I absolutely want to do that. So that's cool that you do like that, and that you've been involved in like charity stuff like that as well. I think that's awesome. Do you have like a favorite event that you've done with when it comes to like charity stuff?
It would probably be that one. It would probably be the Red Cross, especially because the American Red Cross in particular is just such a fantastic charity, right? It's been around forever. When it comes to like corruption in charities and whatnot, I think if the Red Cross tried anything, it would be exposed at this point, and it's all good people back there. And so much support from the Red Cross people themselves. They gave us so much swag. They were so excited about everything.
That's
awesome. They didn't really know what was going on, right? It's like when you bring your parents to a cast and they're like, it's like you're speaking a whole nother language. What's even going on here? That's kind of how it was, but they were so hype about it, so supportive, and they still do, they still do the Rescue Royale. I just don't know if they've included Halo as much in it, which they certainly should, and hopefully
they certainly should. If there's anybody listening, American Red Cross, this is Jolly, and my name's Lucinity. Hit us up.
We'll be there.
We will cast for you.
Yep.
We will do it. That would be so cool. Like, that would be absolutely incredible to do too. In your questionnaire, you wrote on there that you do like tech repair. I want to talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a bunch of stuff literally right here, like my soldering station and whatnot. I actually did tech repair as my job for a couple of years. So I would drive around in a van and go up to people's houses, and I worked with like the phone company's insurance. And I would take their phone into the van and I would fix it and then drop it back off to them and drive to the next house. That, or, working in the store, we would do anything. I mean, I've taken apart and tried to repair pretty much everything. Absolutely love doing it. It's certainly a good hobby, but it doesn't get me up off my butt. So that's the one downside.
Do you have anything in particular that you like fixing per se? My boyfriend, he just started doing like he refurbishes old Xbox consoles and controllers.
Yeah, consoles are my specialty. PCs can be a pain in the butt because when it comes to software, there's so much more going on, right?
Yeah.
Xbox, I mean, I can disassemble an Xbox, and
I love that.
For like the 360s, for instance, it was 90% of the time you had a disk drive or ROD, right? Red Ring. I can fix those things in my sleep, right?
Love that.
But phones, I can fix an iPhone screen in like 10-15 minutes, the whole thing, fully from
I love that.
reassembly. So that's probably the one that's like the easiest for me. But I love my consoles. That's what I've got controllers and stuff over here too, that I do customizations on controllers. And if I have, my joysticks are swaying. And then I've got one without like a charger that works, so I'm pulling the charger off the
I love that.
Just kind of Frankensteining.
Yeah, they're like Legos. Controllers. It's like adult Legos. That's what I call them. Is like it's just. Yeah, it's just like building and stuff like that. It's actually a fun hobby though. I started doing it with controllers with Womp. That's my boyfriend, but we go out now, and it's like I don't know, it's fun to go out and look for old consoles and like, oh, can I turn this one better and all that. It's cool. I like it. It's a blast. What about do you do just Xbox consoles, or like do you do PlayStation consoles and stuff too? All of them?
I do everything. PlayStations are just a little bit more annoying when it comes to the issues that they have. Also, I like the hardware, like the internal hardware of an Xbox is just, it's probably less convenient for people who are like, developing and running it, but as a person who's repairing it, it's all nice and spread out. It's very easy to see. So I do PlayStation. Plus, Xbox is way easier to take apart. That's the big thing. I slice my hands on PlayStations, and I'm not about that.
Are you more of an Xbox player or a PlayStation player?
I grew up as an Xbox player. When I was in elementary school, I won a school raffle. My mom gave each of us a single raffle ticket, and of course, I put mine in for the 360 because Halo Combat Evolved had just come out, and I wanted it so badly. So I ended up winning the Xbox.
That's so sick.
I had my mom. I was like, Mom, you need to get me this M-rated game because I can't get it for myself.
You need to get me this game, Mom.
Yeah. And she didn't know. Yeah. So that's what really got me into gaming. That and, you know, like some old computer games. I mean, I grew up completely isolated, so it was that and books that kept me entertained, and I just became completely absorbed, especially, you know, story-based things that also include the ability to have that social interaction, right? So Halo 3 is where I swear to God, if I combine it, it's probably like a year's worth of my life collectively that I played on Halo 3. I pretty much flunked like 9th grade or 10th grade because all I did was play that game all day, every day.
Is it safe to say that that's probably your favorite?
Yes, 100%. Yeah. Anyone
that's
who
what
says
Wong's doing.
otherwise, yeah, I'm gonna say you're
I'm
wrong.
pretty
but
sure
most people
he probably
agree,
said it in chat. Yeah, he said he's doing Halo 3 on Legendary, I think, right now. Literally in the living room, I can hear him every now and then. I like something happens and he's like, ah, like I can just hear it.
Yeah, it might not be my favorite campaign. I really like the Halo 2 campaign, but when it
Me
comes
too.
to online, it was just so cool. And it's like, oh my God, like we're fighting with the Covenant. My
Yeah.
little brother got to play as Arbiter while I was Master Chief. Of course, I was always first player, right? Top of the screen. He had to be on the bottom. But yeah, I would say campaign Halo 2, but experience in general, Halo 3, there was nothing like it. And Infinite is probably the closest I've felt to that. I really did enjoy Reach, but it was very different. Probably just because they added, you know, the power, like the abilities and things like that.
Yeah.
There was so much that was new. It was a little, it was almost too different. Where I was like young hipster kind of thing. I don't like it. It's not as like Halo 3 as I would prefer. But I can still go back and play that game all the time. I love it. But I also love that they made the maps in Infinite. They're very similar, you know, in the style. That circular style, right? I think it was Lilith that was maybe mentioning that circular style of the maps. And those are the ones that are my favorites, anyways.
Oh yeah. No, Zev said that. Yeah, Zev said the circular with with the maps, which is true though. I will say too, I like I fully agree. I like Halo 3 multiplayer a lot, but I really, really like the campaign with Halo 2. I love the Arbiter. I love the story of the Arbiter. I think that's so much fun. What I was gonna ask you is, out of like, do you have any video games that you like play now that are kind of just like do you compete competitively at all?
No, I'm bad. Well, okay,
Me too.
I'm just like, just in general, I can tell it's based on the day. Some days I'm absolutely insane. And I actually, when I was younger, when I was doing Halo 3, I remember I got like an MLG offer, but I was young at the time. I was like 14 years old, so my mom said no. And we were also nowhere, so she's like, I don't even know what that is. Absolutely not. But it was mostly because I played SWAT, and I had for Halo 5, I think my KDA was like 5.64.
Look at her go.
Yeah, which was my least favorite, but still, I mean, it's one of those games where you start to go on a spree and you're like, this is so easy. What's happening? Just once you get the level, once you figure out the spray. I'm also a BR fan. I'm a classic BR, by far 100% my favorite weapon.
Yeah.
I miss those days. So I do still play. I still call it SWAT. It's gonna stay that way.
I'm horrible at SWAT.
We'll have to play together then. I'll teach you. I'll carry you.
Yeah, I need all the uppies, that's for sure. I'm also someone who is not. I like competing. I do have a goal. My goal is I want to compete at Worlds this year. I did free for all last year at Worlds. I obviously got first rounded, but I want to do it again this year, and I want to not get first rounded. So that's my goal, is to do a tournament this year and not get first rounded as a free for all player. So me and I have a duo. Her name's Sarvanna. She's been in chat too. Shout out to Sar. We run games together a lot and play with each other a lot. She's been a really encouraging player and helped me like just encourage me to be better and stuff like that. So she and I play together a lot, but she's been kicking ass too. So it's really cool though. And I like to cast more because, you know, it's easier. Like I feel like I can talk about the game all day long, but like, and I can tell you like, hey, you should shoot up higher, but I probably can't shoot up that high.
I mean, you know what? Well, like, why are coaches, right? Like, they can't be. I always make the joke. You know, if you can't teach, and if you can't teach, just talk about it. And so that's why I cast, right? Like,
yeah, but I just yap a lot.
And it's true though, because you know there are a lot of people are like, oh, what's your rank? You know, especially for League of Legends, because they're all, I don't know, like uppity. But when people ask that, it's you can have a full, complete understanding of the game and not be able to execute the mechanics. There is a big difference between those things, or an understanding of why certain plays went wrong, what could have been done to where things, were performed better. And
Yeah.
I think that that's kind of a common misunderstanding that we have within casting, where they're like, "Oh, you're not Onyx. Well, then why should I even listen to you cast?" And it's not about that. It's about the information. You can research something for hours upon hours and never touch the game technically, and be
Yeah.
a pro when it comes to knowledge.
That's something that I definitely think too, because I'm like newer to the Halo community, right? So like I probably started taking Halo creation and stuff more seriously about a year ago, was when I really started like kicking it into drive or whatever. But I didn't really know too much about it. And I went back and I was one of those people that like I went back and I did my research. Like I wasn't around watching, I wasn't around when Walshy and the Ogre twins were around. Like I wasn't around for that. So I would hear people talk about it and I went back. So I went back and I learned and like learned more about like everything that was happening and stuff like that. And like I just think that like too, like a lot of people think like you have to be a pro at the game or a high skill level at the game to kind of understand or to be knowledgeable about speaking on that topic. And it's not really like that. Like I can probably go toe to toe with a lot of people now in regards to like Halo knowledge, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause I just went back into the research. So
Right.
that was a really cool point to hear you kind of mention that though.
Well, and have you ever heard like when pros try to cast? I mean, some of them are good, right? But it's different. You have to be able to articulate what is happening, right? You have to be able to
Words
sort of
hard.
the words are hard, right? I'm right now. I'm
Words-
struggling, okay? And I'm
words
not
hard.
even like I'm not hired to do this one. I'm doing this for fun, and I'm still scared.
Yeah.
So, that's always part of it. But when you see some pros, they'll be like, "Oh, this person's got really good knowledge," and then they clam up on the microphone, or they're unintelligible, or their diction just is very limited. There's a lot of different factors that people don't consider about casting. Like, yeah, I'm just talking about a game, but and most people see that and they're like, "Oh, I could do that. I could easily do that." Then you can do it.
Yeah,
That's-
it's sometimes it's really hard too. Like I will say, when I first the first time that I casted, I was so nervous, and I realized, and this was something that I told you too. I say the word absolutely so much, and that is like my filler word, because I realized that I would go so I switched from to absolutely, so now it's always absolutely. So I need to stop saying absolutely. And it's funny because people are like, oh, casting's easy, and it's like it's really not. Like when you're watching, like I have to watch, yeah, you have to watch some Priscilla's in the ear, like it's really not. Like I feel like a lot of people don't understand. You have to watch, like I'm watching people who are better at me play a video game, and I have to think about what they're gonna do and figure it out and articulate it while it's happening before it's over without saying
right. Or stumbling on your way. The biggest problem for me is I will forget the simplest words. Like I'll forget the word objective. And then
Yeah.
problem is that it's so close to the tip of my tongue, I'll be like, okay, maybe this is worth me trying to get the word out or trying to get my co-caster to help. And I end up just spouting gibberish for about 12 seconds. Okay, whatever, let's just pass it. And 30 seconds later, I'm like, objective. That was the word. That was the one. It happens. And I've been doing this for I started doing full time in 2022. I started casting. I started at Boise State Esports, which was one of the first universities to start with an esports program or varsity esports program. I started back at the beginning of 2018. So I've been doing this now for a long time. Holy moly, I'm old. But it's still incredibly intimidating. I almost feel like it was easier closer to when I started because I was less aware of how many problems every individual can have.
Yeah. And too, something that I've noticed with casting when I go to cast, at least, is there goes again. But
Absolutely, yeah.
you have to be absolutely. You have to be so fast that it's like before I even spit out what I want to say about the play that they're doing, it's like an overkill already happened. They already have like, the power up or like something, and I'm like, but it's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, you killed it. It's so funny that you say that because you're like, I'm new. Oh, I'm gonna absolutely just, and it was so easy to cast with you. You did such an incredible job. Seriously, like, do not discount how, and I don't just say that to everybody. I'll hype people up, but I'm sitting here at 1 pixel apparently.
Oh no, you're fine. What we'll do is we'll actually switch over. Thank you so much to Jelly for all the guests. I really appreciate it. Being able to work with you was really cool. That was, I don't know, I was stoked about that. I hope we get to do it more too. That was fun. But what we'll do is we'll switch to just me for right now, and then we'll come back. We'll let you mess through camera for a second, but we're gonna switch to just me really quickly, and we are going to do some more talking. So I'm going to actually make a glitch while we're sitting here, because why not? Oh no, but I actually don't know. Oh yes, I do. It's right. I'm going to use the glitch revive. This is one that I really, really like. This is like just a hydration and endurance type of energy drink. Not even an energy drink. It's literally just a hydration drink. There's nothing in it that's going to give me energy, but we're going to make a glitch. So this one is blueberry, or is it blackberry? It's blackberry lemonade. Super easy to make. The really cool things about this is just a little scooper. You open the scooper. Easy peasy, right? So we can show you guys all how to make it while we're on camera. So I can put it either in a water bottle or I can put it in this shaker. I'm going to put it in this shaker. You just do this, and then look, if you, oh, I just opened it.
Lift it up.
But if you want to put it in the water bottle, it has like a funnel, so it can go directly in the top, which I spill things a lot, so it always messes it up. And now I'm just gonna add water. Super easy, super easy. Oh my gosh, I just almost spilt this out. But yeah, so we like Glitch around here. Glitch is really fun. We can get some ASMR with it. Glitch approached me about 2 months ago, and we've been in the talk about 2 months ago about kind of working together and working on some fun things, and the stars aligned, and we just decided that we were a good fit. So shout out to Glitch and Glitch Energy. And yeah, like I said earlier, if you all want to, you can also get Glitch. Easy, shake it. That's all you got to do. So this is what I do when I make it up. And we can do it on here, but you can use code SINR, it's SINR, at checkout, and you can also get yourself a glitch, which is really cool. So we're gonna talk about what's gonna happen too at the end of the show, so everybody knows. How would I compare Glitch with G Fuel? Honestly, they're kind of like the same thing, but I like Glitch better because Glitch doesn't give me the jitters. I don't typically drink too much energy powder. I like more so the like hydration aspect, and like hydration powders. Like I'll do hydration mixers and all of that over like energy powders. So shout out to Glitch, they're really, really cool. And then we do have another sponsor to talk about. Something that funds the stream is going to be Clutch. You can get a Clutch today. There's, oh my gosh, the Glitch just exploded in my face. That scared me so bad. So sorry. But you can get Clutch today. It is the Gamer Hygiene. There's Gamer Grip, and there's also deodorant that you can get too. The deodorant's really cool. They're all vegan. They don't test on animals. That's why I get it, and that's why it's my favorite products ever, and that's why I'll only use that. But yeah, Glitch is very excited for me to drink it. So that was crazy that did that. So at the end of the show, so everybody knows there's drops on the channel today. The drops are going to be going until 11 p.m. EST. So what we're going to do is we're still not done with the show yet. We are still going to go and migrate into a group interview with everybody. Now we're going to sit down with all three of the guests as a collective and just kind of talk about what it's like to be a woman in the gaming space. After that, we're going to end the stream very briefly. It's going to be very fast. And then we're going to restart the stream. The reason why I have to do that is because I am not physically running my stream right now. My producer, Frizilla, shout out to him, who is all the way in Mexico, is currently running my stream right now. So when it's done, he has to end the stream for a second, and then I have to restart it back in my home state of Michigan, so we can continue the night going and continue drops going for everybody. So that's why it will end briefly after, and then we'll bring it back. So now I'm going to put myself on mute for a moment, just while we bring back in all three guests. So we're gonna have all three guests come on if everybody is ready. Looks like everybody's ready. Cool. So we're gonna all three guests come on, and we're going to go into a group conversation.
I'm here.
Hello, I'm here too. I just had to take another swig. I was like really thirsty. So we're going to kind of just talk about now, like, I want to talk about like what it's like to be a woman in the gaming space and kind of things that, you know, like maybe you go through or things that you've experienced that we're just going to talk about, I guess. So we'll just kind of like go down the line. Jolly, I'll start with you. So you're a caster and stuff like that, and you do things in the back, like we'll say the background, like the scenes, like the back scenes of gaming. Has there ever been a point where you think that people have either like treated you differently just because you're like a woman in the space, or like maybe hasn't really given you, or have you ever felt like you didn't get an opportunity because you're a woman and there's like been a guy or something who maybe you were more qualified but they got it because they were a guy or anything like that, or just anything that's kind of stood out to you that you've been treated differently purely that you can pinpoint it was because you're a woman?
I hate to say it, but I feel like the better question would be, is there ever a time where you feel like it had nothing to do with the fact that you're a woman?
There you
because
go.
at the end of the day, there are so many times that I have been, there are times that I've been pulled in on something that maybe other people were more qualified for diversity, which is a good thing. Because at the end of the day, right, the forced inclusion of diversity is what is required to actually like normalize it. But the other side of it is, I mean, I've been pushed out of several communities, and one of the worst things about it is when there's like other vindictive women in the scene and they see another woman as a challenge, right?
Yeah.
Which happens at like higher tiers of things. I think lower tiers, I never have any problem because everybody's working hard. Everybody's, doing the grind to get to where they want to be. But yeah, it's men, it's women, it's everybody, right? It's a lot of people still see a girl up on the stage and they're like, oh, she's not going to know what she's talking about. Or I'll get messages that say, wow, you really impressed me because you actually knew what you were saying. Like, why is it expected that I am unfamiliar with the game if I'm being paid? I've spent dozens, hundreds of hours of practicing, of casting, of all of this, and still my qualifications don't add up to those that are, in it's kind of clicky. It's kind of clicky. I gotta say.
I agree with that.
But it's a boys club clique. And then when there's a girl involved, usually it's just one girl, and a lot of the times they get like intimidated if there's another girl. I'm like the least girl. I mean, I'm just here to do games. I'm just here to do whatever. But there's a different side of it when you're a woman. That is 100% attached to my title. I am a female caster for some reason. I'm not just a caster. It's rare that I feel like, oh wow, I was chosen because they thought I was good. Not because of a following, not because of, any of the previous titles I've done, whatever it is, just the fact that I fit a niche.
Yeah, that makes sense. So what about Lilith? Have you ever like experienced anything where people have been kind of like off towards you or anything like that?
Yeah, personally it mainly happens during kind of ladies events, just because I'm seen as like different in those kind of events. It mainly happens then because I mainly solo queue. So I don't experience any other random person besides when I'm like on live on stream. So it's mainly people like that, but I've learned to just tune those people out. It's just not worth my time.
Do you use game chat and stuff when you play?
No.
Me neither.
Not at all.
Me neither. Mine's always off. Always. What about you, Zev? Have you ever experienced like anything where people have been kind of like shitty towards you?
Unfortunately, yeah. When I play ranked, especially, I rarely will turn on my mic unless I know the people in the lobby. And on my team, pro players are usually pretty receptive, but it's a lot of those top amateurs that kind of pick up like a bullying habit almost. Whenever you make a wrong decision or in the wrong place at the wrong time and not helping them through the exact play that they want to make that they didn't communicate ahead of time, but I'm just supposed to know. So
Right.
I have a lot of that issue in ranked, just like as a competitor.
Yeah. I can totally understand to like people kind of expecting you to know things sometimes, and it's kind of like, well, hey, if you're so much more of a better player than what I am, or if you think that I am, then like coach me through the situation. Where's your IGL? Why aren't you leading me if you're that good of a player? So I can totally feel that too. What about like, have any of you ever what about just like in game chats or in general? Have any of you ever been in a game chat and you just like experienced bullying per se, just like in the game chat, just because it's like, oh, your gamer tag might be like, mine used to be Queen Stank. So when I went in there and it said Queen, everybody be like, oh shit, there's a girl on the team. And they'd be like an asshole just because it said Queen on my name. So that's why personally I changed my name to be something that was kind of more, if you look at it first glance, it would be gender neutral per se, purely because of when I'm in lobbies, if I don't have my mic on, like I feel like you're less likely to be an asshole. So like I'm just curious, have you guys ever ever experienced anything like that inside of game chats, all three of you? Jolly's shaking her head. Yeah.
Just last night actually, I was playing Overwatch with my roommate, which I don't actually play that often, but just on the off chance. But in Overwatch, I don't have my tag as Zev. I have it as Jade, and I accidentally touched my unmute key, and they were like, "Is that a woman or not?" And they just didn't understand. So
Yeah.
you know, it happens. I'm glad it doesn't happen as much in Halo. I'm glad we've kind of moved away from that with how much support there is through the women's scene and all of those things. But with Overwatch, it's still kind of getting there. Valorant's done a better job than Overwatch in consideration with like game changers. But yeah, not as much as you would be afraid of it happening in Halo.
Would you all say that you think that like for the most part that the Halo community has been pretty receptive and like pretty kind and like open arms?
I'm sorry. I got shit on entering Rocket League, League of Legends, because I started early on, like, you know, when the amateur scene was developing. So I was kind of like ingrained in it. I was a part of it, right? So
Yeah.
it felt like people felt like they couldn't call me. I don't really know how it was, but Rocket League, just because I was a girl, like and then I'm not, you know, constantly like online and posting selfies and you know, trying to be a typical girl as well. I think that's another thing that people don't understand is like, what do you mean? What does it mean to be a girl? Why?
Yeah.
I would never think to ask the question, oh, like, oh, is that a girl? Or, oh, are you a boy? Like, that's just so ridiculous. What does it matter? We're playing games together. What impact does that have on literally anything? And it's nothing. And, you know, as somebody who grew up playing games when I was younger, every time I would try to talk in chat, and I'm talking like back in Halo 3, I think the thing I liked best was everybody got that shitty little headset, the little one ear headset with the drop down mic, and there was no party chat. There was either you were chatting in game or you were doing a private chat, which was always really weird. People are like, oh, why are you private chatting with that person? So everybody talked to each other. But the second I tried to talk, and usually it was even in the lobby with my friends, but it was the enemy team who could hear you at the beginning of the game. It was like I would expect one of two things. Oh, are you like an 8-year-old boy? Or, oh, is that a chick? Are you hot? Like, who? Sincerely, I just cannot fathom the process of like that going through my brain and then coming out of my mouth and me not instantly regretting it. And they double down.
Yeah, I agree with that too. I definitely agree. I do think that the Halo community has been very, at least I can say, like, I've seen some things in the Halo community I haven't really been proud of, but then I've seen more that I've been proud of than what I've been disappointed by, if that makes sense, in regards to like people's actions. Like, I think as of lately, I've been seeing more people actually step up, where if they see somebody saying something fucked up, or if they see someone saying something that's like very questionable, they're just kind of like, yo, don't be a dick. Or like, why are you talking like that and stuff like that, which I think is really, really cool. And I honestly, like, I think that kind of speaks volumes towards the people that are, you know, that are involved in Halo and stuff like that, because a lot of other games don't really have that. Like, I can't go into the Call of Duty, for instance. Like, I will not play Call of Duty, and I will probably not get involved in the Call of Duty scene just because I think it is so freaking toxic.
Hot and bad.
Like so toxic, like, and I just can't do that. And I just think that like Halo, I see a lot of love in Halo and stuff like that too. So, and I think that all of you play like a very, very important part as well, like in that. Is I don't know, I just feel like we're blessed in a way with the community that we have in Halo. We have such a wide variety of people, and like everyone is so talented too. Like, oh my goodness, like just today, like I found out like Lilith likes the drums. I didn't know that. That's so sick. Like, I feel like every single day I'm finding out something new, especially about like the women that are in this community. And it's like so cool. Like, I remember the first time that I went to Cast with Jolly too, like this last weekend, she went on and I noticed the drum set and stuff in the background. And I was like, no way. Like, that's freaking sick. And then the very first time I ever played with Zev was with Pure Delight. It was in his server, and she came on, and I was like, oh my god. And then she got off like after like one series, and I was like, no. And I was like sad, low key, because I was like, wow, I don't know what it is. And I was like, but talking to Zev over the mic, and I was like, she was so nice, I like her. I was like, where did she go? And like, so like I think you three are so awesome. So I don't know, I think you three are doing great things to like within the community and stuff, and it's all things to be proud of. Like Lilith, like Halo Pride Night, I think that's so awesome. I think that's absolutely incredible. And I again, everybody in here, like, please check out Halo Pride Night and Halo Community like Pride Night. It's every single Friday night. You choose at 8 p.m. EST, right?
Yeah, 8 p.m. EST.
Yeah, like 8 p.m. EST, like go play Halo, go meet some people and stuff like that. It's not, I think that a lot of people, video games and like the video gaming world isn't how it used to be, and it's a lot more accepting. So I would encourage everybody to reach out to where you feel like you could find a home, and I can guarantee you there's gonna be people there who are gonna be waiting with open arms to kind of like take you in, because that's what Halo did to probably, I mean, they did it to me. They did it to Jolly. I'm sure they probably did it to Lilith and Zev too.
Yeah.
Like, shoot. So that's great. What about, so I guess this is gonna go to Lilith and Zev because Jolly doesn't really compete that much.
Also talked enough. I'm good.
Have you two done any other like any co-ed tournaments? And then with the co-ed tournaments that you have done, has it been kind of like a similar uplifting experience as what it is with like the women tournaments that you're involved with?
Lilith, have you done any?
No, I haven't done any.
I haven't done any co-ed. I was signed up for one, but then I had something come up, so I couldn't. But I played something similar. It was a Spirit Voyage tournament. It was like a free-for-all with a friend. And I did it with Vinny, Obnoxious. Super fun, very down to earth. It wasn't co-ed, but it was like FFA with a friend, so it was different, but it was a lot of fun. But no, I haven't.
Do you have any plans on doing like any more, or Lilith too? Will either one of you do any of the HCS tournaments coming up?
I am. I'll do Atlanta, and if there's an opportunity for London, then maybe. But
yeah,
okay,
if I go to Atlanta, which is a strong maybe, depending on the dates. Depending on the dates.
Yeah, depending on the dates.
I'd like to try a little quirky
343?
FFA.
Tashi, Uni, Richie, hello. Atlanta dates, please.
I just don't want to go broke buying a plane ticket.
No.
But no, I'd like to try out FFA just to try it. I might try to ninja a couple people. Will I die every time? Yeah, but
Yeah, you're a ninja queen.
I try. I die half the time, but
you don't need to try. You are.
Oh,
Definitely a
and
ninja
also,
queen.
I will say, in regards to the last question, the Halos for Everyone movement in general, really brought up my hopes in Halo. Like, it was a really beautiful thing to see. I just wanted to put that in there.
I agree. I think that was too. I thought something that I thought was really, really cool too was after all of that happened, I believe it was Clutch wore a Halo is for Everyone shirt on the desk. And I thought that was like, shout out to Clutch, man. Like, you'll probably never see this either, but like, I can't tell you how much that meant to so many people to see you wearing that shirt on the desk for that broadcast. Like, that was so cool. So shout out to you for that. And also shout out to Unishek. Unishek has been a really, really, really big supporter for the women of Halo. He's been watching the tournaments. He's been, like, he retweets ladies night and stuff like that. Like, he's been really involving himself in the women of Halo community and like in this community. And I think that's also cool too, because not a lot of people can say that like a community manager from a game developer plays like that involved. And like, I think that's awesome. So shout out to Uni too, and Tashi too, all of them. Shout out to all of you, like, absolutely incredible stuff there. But those were just some things, like the Halo is for Everyone thing. Like, I thought that was a really big pivotal time too. And I think too, that was a time where we saw kind of everybody get kind of gather together more versus like, like separate. I feel like that was a situation, without like going into too much detail, where a lot of people could have, it could have went both ways. could have really divided the community in multiple ways. But instead of dividing it, I feel like we all just kind of came together and really rallied together and was like, hey, no, this is what we're actually going to talk about. And I thought that was really cool. So that's a really good point to bring up to Lilith with that is the Halo is for Everyone movement is really cool, which that's also included in the show notes. So everyone knows. I literally thought that was a cat behind Lilith right now. I was staring and I was
going for the gecko.
I was trying not to see. I was trying not to look in the back because I was like, maybe it's just the chair and it's my glasses. But I thought that I saw a cat.
That's so cute.
Literally dipping their paw like in the terrarium there.
He stays doing that.
Trying to
he'll
get
see-
the cat. That's so funny.
He'll see Evie at the window and just start like pawing at him.
Oh,
Adorable.
Shout out to Janelle too. Janelle's in the chat and Hooligans in the chat as well. Janelle says Lilith's blush is always perfect, and honestly, I do be
True.
agreeing with
I was
that.
thinking the same thing. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, is that like it almost looks like it was so perfect that it looked like a light
Yes.
just happened to be shining across.
I love
Yeah.
that.
Mhm.
So another question that I'm going to ask all of you is we're just going to kind of go down the line, and I wanted to know if any of you have anything that you want to talk about that you're like looking forward to, or anything that you're working on that you can kind of share with anybody, or anything that you want people to know about you, or any projects that you're working on. And I'll start with Lilith.
So once again, Halo Pride Night. Super excited for June. Obviously last June we raised money for GLAD. This June I plan to raise money every week instead of just doing one event. I want to have every week a different charity, a different group of people. I think it'd be a really nice opportunity.
Yeah, that's
but yeah,
cool.
Halo Pride Night, come join.
Okay, and then and again the Twitter, so everybody knows, I will grab that Twitter again, that link right here for you, and I'm gonna put it in chat so everybody has that. Oh, it's already right there. Thank you so much. You all rule, but there's that right there, so you all can get like involved with Halo Pride and every Friday, and then there's a Discord that you all can get in touch with Lilith for, and it's Lilith and Lady Mando who are both the founders. Is there any other founders, or is it just you two?
It's just us two.
Okay, I just want to make sure I'm not forgetting anybody or like being
No, you're
rude, you
fine.
know. So that's really cool. So make sure that you all look up Halo Pride Night, and then Zev. Oh, Jolly looks like she has a question.
Just want to know
She's-
a little bit more about. Oh, I'm muted. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. All right, you scared me out. I want to know. I want to know a little bit more about like the Women's Pride Night and in what you guys do together, right? Do you just like have a lobby? Do you invite people into the game? Like what exactly, I guess, do you do? Because I want to participate in it. I just
Yeah.
want to know what I'm looking forward to.
So basically, it's just like any other customs night with the community. We just all kind of get together in Discord and just kind of vibe together in customs or BCB or 8s, literally whatever the community picks for that week. We'll just
Cool.
vibe them. It's a
I
fun
love
time.
that.
Perfect.
I love that. And then Zev, what about you? Do you have anything to look forward to, or anything that you want to shout out?
Well, once my lease ends at this place, I'll be able to start streaming again, which I'm very excited about. I hadn't had the opportunity just because Spectrum is unwilling to move said services.
I have
But-
Spectrum right now. It's the worst internet service I've ever had, honey. I understand.
I want to stream this game so bad, but I need the PC from God himself
Yes.
to do that without good internet. So ideally streams will start back up,
Videos.
which I'm excited for.
Make
Okay.
videos, screen cap your stuff and make videos for us.
Oh,
We'd love to
yeah.
see, no matter what, no
Oh.
matter what it is, we'd love to see. I would
Yeah,
love
what
to
the
see
heck,
content.
Zev?
Even like
didn't even think
little
about it.
highlights, even little highlights. That's one of my favorite
that's
things
a
about
good
a lot of the
idea.
women. I love Ms. Audie's page because she just constantly
Yeah.
posts like this. I did a badass thing. I love it. I dig those
Oh,
so
yeah.
much. I think people would really like it if they got to see you popping off.
Yeah,
I'll
for
get
real,
to
because
that.
you're up and coming too. Like, showcase those talents, girl, because you ain't going nowhere. So you definitely should. And then, Jolly, what about you? Do you have anything that we can look forward to, or anything that you want to share or talk about, or anything that's exciting that's coming up?
No. Unfortunately, this is like Yeah, a tier. Unfortunately, no. I feel like I maybe okay. Here we go. I can face something. I actually made myself a list of things that, 'cause, sometimes you feel down, especially being in the content side of things, right? When I'm hired on, it's not like I do my own content, which I should absolutely do, but as a caster, I am let down a lot, right? As a female caster or as a girl. And I literally wrote in my notebook things in esports that haven't let me down. And the two things that I wrote were Halo and women's events. And like
Let's
that is the kind of
go.
thing. So you know what? At the end of the day, I've kind of come to the point where I've been doing this for so long. I've had so many different amazing events, but I've almost spread myself too thin. I
Yep.
think I'm just gonna focus on Halo. I love Halo.
I
I
love
always
that.
have loved Halo. You know what? I'm just gonna start like instead of doing all of the other games too and trying to kind of keep up a little bit on everything. I'm ready to just invest everything in Halo because I've dipped my toes in enough to know that this scene is a million times better than any other game that I've played. And I think it literally has to do with the fact that more women play because more women are accepted. Not whatever marginalized gender in general,
Yeah.
whatever you identify as. Halo is amazing comparatively, right? Especially for a shooter. Shooters
Yeah.
in particular tend to be really rough on marginalized genders, on women, on non-binary people. Like, hey, yeah, I'm ready to not like I'm gonna not accept other gigs or anything, but you know what? I think it's time to invest in Halo because of the love that I feel from you guys. It's literally because of the viewers, my casters, the production, the players in particular too are incredible and are so involved and active. That's pretty much it. I unfortunately don't have anything that like nothing exciting yet, but for a lot of casting, you don't get the contract until like 2 weeks before. Or
I
a month
agree.
before the
Casting is
event.
very.
So,
That's what. Yeah. Casting
every
is
other
very.
week, I'm like my career's over.
Yeah, casting's very, very last minute. That's something that I've learned. I've been lucky enough to kind of, I don't want to say that I'm getting them more frequently, but I've been lucky enough to get like, you know what I mean? Like more gigs popping up and stuff like that, which is really cool. My goal is to do a LAN. I want to try to do a Halo LAN event or something. I want to do, I want to,
cool.
yeah, like I
Yeah,
want
that
to
would be
cast on
cool.
LAN. I think that'd be sick.
A women's LAN too. We
Yeah,
just need
that's what I'm trying. A
LAN.
women's LAN,
No,
like
women's
that's
specifically, yeah. Any women's like no, they don't do that. They do game changers and stuff. What about a LAN? Like, come on.
yeah.
invite-
I'm trying to.
invite more
I'm trying to
people.
be like Blaze. Shout out Blaze on HCS. I'm trying to be like Blaze, Lottie, Tony, all of them. I want to be like all of them. Like so, I want to pull up to a LAN event and it'd be a badass LAN event of all women. That'd be so sick. I thought that was really cool with the LVT tournament. Something that I thought was really cool was that it really was all like the whole thing was women, like the observers. Everything. I mean, granted, Louis was there like in our ears and stuff like that with LVT, but like he was like our chaperone, we'll say. He was just kind of like making sure
Our
that like,
handler.
where he was our manager for the day. He was making sure that we were all kind of, like under control and stuff like that. But that was so cool. And it was very rewarding and it felt very badass to know that like it was an all girl, like, like broadcast and stuff. That was cool. That was super cool.
So cool to watch. It was so cool to watch back.
Yeah, like I have to go back and watch the actual. I have this problem with VODs. I don't like to go back and watch myself talk. I just don't like
Completely
it,
understandable.
I don't even have a demo
but
reel. I don't have a demo reel because I can't do it.
I don't have a demo reel either. I should make one
I've been doing this for
though.
like 8 years, so like I probably should at this point.
Yeah,
I can't. It's hard. Everybody hates their own voice. Everybody hates, but as long as other people enjoy it, if you keep getting hired on, right? Like if people keep giving you props, you gotta listen to other people.
Oh yeah,
Well,
absolutely. So what
With
about
stipulations?
Lilith?
Oh,
Do you?
yeah.
I asked Zev this earlier. I want to ask Lilith this too. Do you have a favorite pro player?
Oh, that's a question.
Actually, here, wait. Let's do this because I want everyone to do it. We're gonna do like a 30-second style, and I'm gonna take a clip of it. We're gonna go down the line, and we're gonna ask everyone their favorite pro. We're gonna go Lilith, Zev, Jolly. Are you ready? So, Lilith, who is your favorite Halo pro?
Probably Spartan.
Zev, who's your favorite Halo pro?
Also Spartan.
Ooh, Jolly, who's your favorite Halo pro?
Renegade Lucid Trippy.
Okay, fair. I think that my favorite Halo player is definitely APG. What's up, big dog?
Yeah.
I love that so much. I love that so much. So, basically, that's kind of going to be the show for the day. I want to, again, say thank you so much to my 3 guests, Lilith, Jolly, and Zev. All of them have their own commands in chat. So if anybody in here wants to look up their socials or anything like that, you just do their name and it'll pop up. It'll be Command Lilith, Command Jolly, and Command Zev. All of their links will pop up and stuff like that. So we want to say thank you to all 3 of you. Thank you so much for taking, taking your... I muted myself. Thank you so much for taking the time out to be here and stuff like that too. I know that like schedules can be really hard and rough, and that's like really difficult. So I want to at least thank you, and I want to thank everybody for watching episode 8 of Ladies Night. So we're gonna say goodbye to the 3 guests right now, and we're gonna go over to just me for a moment. So thank you all so much.
Thank you
And
so much.
Thank you so much. And yeah, so now we are just kind of going to, I'm going to go over what's going to happen here really quickly so everybody knows. So we do have drops in the channel until 11 o'clock tonight. So that's 2 more hours. So what I'm going to do is we're going to briefly end the stream. Zilla will be ending the stream in Mexico. So he's going to hit the end stream, and then we're going to wait like 10 seconds, and then I'm going to hit the starting stream, and it's going to restart again. But it'll be streaming from my location versus his, so that way everybody will have more time to get drops. And then that way this episode ends at exactly 2 minutes or 2 hours, but we'll still be able to keep it up. So I want to say thank you all again so very much for watching, and thank you for all the support. Thank you so much 343 for putting me on the community calendar for the 3rd time with Ladies Night and putting my passion project, on the calendar again. It's absolutely incredible, and I'm just so thankful. Thank you so much for all of that. And thank you everyone for the follows and for hanging out today and for the subs. And that's going to conclude this episode of Ladies Night. Go ahead and stick around, and I will see you all back in about 2 minutes. So thank you so much for watching.
Look through the looking glass, where feelings are much larger.